Are you ready to call your first witness?
Yes, Your Honor. We'd like to call Mrs. April Scott.
Mrs. April Scott, please take the stand. Place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
State your name.
April Kavanaugh Scott.
Be seated.
Thank you.
Mrs. Scott, you're acquainted with both parties of this suit, right?
Yes, I am.
In fact, you're close enough to them that when they needed someone to take care of their boy for a short time, you would volunteer.
That's correct.
On the night that Raven Swift went to England, was Jamie Swift in your house?
Yes, I had been taking care of him for a couple of days while they were away on a business trip.
What happened that night?
Well, Raven came over and said that she and her husband had broken up and that she was taking off for London.
Can you describe exactly for us what happened?
Yes, I can.
Raven. Hi, Draper. Where's April?
Raven, is that you?
Hi.
You didn't come here for Jamie, did you? I just put him up to bed. You said you wanted to stay.
You don't look so worried. I didn't come here to take my little angel away. I came here to leave him for good. Oh, boy, if you two could see your faces right now, I don't know whether you're happy or sad. You look so stunned.
Well, yeah, I am. I can't imagine what you mean.
I mean exactly what I said. Aren't you happy? Honey, you've always told me how much you love my little boy. What's the matter? You just love him if he's only here a couple of hours?
Now, take it easy, Raven. You're 3 feet off the ground. You've been drinking or what?
Oh, I need a drink. I'm going on a plane and they petrify me. Well, say something. Do you want to take him or don't you? Because if you don't, I'll have to find somebody else. Now, I'm sure Geraldine Saxon would give me her millions if I would bundle up the little kid and give him to her, but I wouldn't do that for all the tea in China. Or I should say London, that's more appropriate.
Come on, Raven, now don't make jokes about this. It isn't funny.
I'm not making a joke. As a matter of fact, I don't have much of a sense of humor these days. That's one thing I hope I get back when I leave this horrid place.
Now, where are you flying?
You're not listening, Draper. I'm going to London. I've already got a ticket. I had a hard time, but there was a cancellation on the midnight flight, so I shall be flying across the Atlantic at midnight. Isn't that romantic?
Why are you doing this?
Oh, I think you know. I just have to get away from this dull, boring, ridiculous domestic life. I hate it. I didn't realize how much I hated it until Logan started this damn quarrel.
So it was Logan who started, huh?
Come on, Draper. I'm not going to clue you in on all the juicy details, even though I'd like to. No, I have to leave, and I haven't even packed yet, and it took me 2 days to pack on this trip upstate.
And you never did take the trip upstate, did you? I mean, you were sick.
Yes, well, I'm a lot better now. As a matter of fact, I've never felt better in my life because I know exactly what it is I want to do now. And the first thing I'm going to do is give Jamie to a brand new mommy. You.
Oh, my God. Raven, you're serious.
Uh-huh. And I'll show you just how serious I am. I have it all written out. Now, this may not be the most perfect legal document in the world, Draper, so you might want to look it over and improve it a little bit, but essentially, it gives you and April all rights to Jamie's care, feeding, and upbringing. Anything you want to do with him is just fine with me.
Mrs. Scott, do you have the letter that Raven Swift gave you?
No, it's gone. Because Raven Swift got rid of it. Yes, Mrs. Swift asked me for that letter. She was very anxious to get her hands on it.
Because she knew it would be condemning evidence in a custody trial.
Objection, Your Honor. Calling for a conclusion.
You're sustained.
The reason you didn't give the letter back to Mrs. Swift was because you knew she was intent on destroying it.
Yes, and because Mr. Swift had also asked me for the letter, and, well, I felt he had more right to it.
Because, Your Honor, the letter revealed that Raven Swift literally and actually gave away her own son.
Your Honor, This is testimony about evidence nobody's even seen.
Mr. Scott, you say that Mrs. Swift literally destroyed this letter before your eyes?
Yes, Your Honor. She'd let it fly right off my terrace, and I live on the 32nd floor. The letter was never found.
The letter's gone. We only have her word against Mrs. Swift's admittedly questionable testimony as to what it said. No more questions.
Well, Mr. Rutledge.
Remember what I said.
I really don't think
Just do what I said.
Now, Mrs. Scott, you say that you gave this letter to Logan Swift, despite the fact that his wife asked you for it first?
Yes, that was my decision.
Why did you favor one parent over the other?
Because I believed that Logan Swift would make a better parent for his little boy, and because I also felt that the contents of the letter should be revealed.
Are you absolutely sure about the contents of this letter? Are you sure it wasn't just permission for you to keep Jamie Swift for only a brief period of time?
No, the letter gave us the right to raise that little boy as our very own son.
Mrs. Scott, how well do you know Logan Swift?
We're very good friends. He is my husband's best friend.
You say was because until quite recently you thought your husband was dead, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
In fact, for the last 6 months you've been living the life of a widow.
Objection, Your Honor. All this questioning is irrelevant.
I promise connection, Your Honor.
Very well. You may proceed.
Mrs. Scott, isn't it true that during the 6 months that you believed your husband dead and buried, that you and Logan Swift drew closer together? That you became more than just friends? That in fact, you actually fell in love? That you were lovers?